And you know, gun violence is a serious issue in our community, and nobody knows better than my brother, my senator, Bobby Champion. Bobby Champion, what are some of the things that we're doing to fight gun violence in our community?
Well, one, I think, is having community come together and understand how devastating gun violence is, and how it's important to be peaceful and commune with each other and find ways to lift each other up as opposed to destroying each other. One of the things that has always been relevant as well is that whenever there's gun violence involved, we all are affected, right? So the person who's pulling the trigger, those who are affected by the trigger, family members who had nothing to do with whatever the altercation could potentially be, and we don't believe that there's anything so important that we need to resort to gun violence. Peace is the order of the day, and the work that you all are doing by getting out there in the streets, talking to young people, engaging young people, reinforcing positive values, and asking them to make some decisions that's going to always uplift them as well as our community.
You know, one of the things that we always talk about politicians and all that stuff, but there's work that has to be done. We can't expect for our politicians to do all the work. And sadly, in our community, we do that too much. We complain, but we don't work. I know it's hard to get to the Capitol. I know it's hard to find parking, but it's easy to reach this brother. And so what can people in our community do to be more effective?
Well, one is understand that we have to be concerned about those people who are in our household, first of all. You know, making sure that our brothers, sisters, sons, daughters, cousins are doing the right thing. Also supporting organizations like yours and others that are out there in the streets making a difference. They can even support by, you know, calling the Capitol and calling their local officials as well, because most people think that the state capitol is the place where you come to get everything done, but unfortunately we're not the only place, right? There's the city, there's the county, and we all have a role to play in order to make sure that our communities are safe and vibrant and resourceful, and we make the necessary investments for our families to go forward. So I think that they can do something in their own homes, in their churches. I think churches can always not just pray, but come outside their walls, knock on the doors, just even around their church. You know, even patrol just around their church, so that people not only see it as a law enforcement arm, but a resource arm. You can pray with people, understand what people are going through, and we can find ways by which to provide the assets for people to move forward. So I think in your home, churches, community organizations, we can continue to empower them so that we know that they are resources. Like some are doing job opportunities, you know, helping people with resumes, helping them connect with jobs. Because guess what? The common denominator when you think in terms of most disparities is poverty, right? And so we want to always create pathways out of poverty and into prosperity. So those are just some of the things that I think that we can do. But as you so eloquently stated earlier, be positive and let's work together. Not talk against each other, not talk down to each other, not find ways to be destructive, but try to find ways to be constructive.
That's right. That's important. You know, one of the things I've always noticed about Bobby Champion, Senator Champion, is that when he was young, right? When he was young, he was always trying to do positive things in a negative, somewhat world. And so, for young people, I want you to give them a message, because you might be surrounded by gang members, you might be surrounded by drug dealers, prostitutes, whatever. But if you really want to succeed, and if you want to be a success, you can do it. You can come out of there. It doesn't matter what hood you're in, what street you live on, you can do it. Give some tips just for our young people.
Well, you know, even just for our young people, let me say this. One is, it's about us making the decision that we want our lives to be different, and we want to impact our community in a positive way. You don't want the environment to influence you in a negative way. You can take the positive things from your environment, but you can see what is lacking in our environment, and let's be the gap. Let's stand in the gap on those things that we could be much better around. You know, when it comes to beautifying or improving our community. And guess what? You can do anything you put your mind to. If you can believe it, you can achieve it. It is not based on where you grew up. It's not based on your zip code. It's not based on your area code. It's based on what God has given you, and that you can maximize and live up to your God-given potential. And the only thing that stops you will be you, because you can decide what you want to do.
You heard it. You heard it from our senator, Senator Bobby Joe Champion. Hey, don't you go nowhere. Stop the violence is going to be off the chain. Bring the unity. We're doing it right here. So don't you go nowhere. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
When you talk about making changes in our community around gun laws and stopping the gun violence in our community. So many people say it won't happen, but all around the world they're changing things so that people are safer. What do we got to do? We got our state legislator here. What do we got to do?
Well, BJ, I think that no one thing's going to take care of it. I mean, we really have to think of a multi-pronged approach. You know, we have to realize that there's a problem with too many guns. We have too many guns in our, not just in our community here in the north side, but throughout Minneapolis and throughout the state of Minnesota. And I think reasonable gun laws can begin to change that. We're up against a really, really big industry, gun manufacturing.
Right.
And quite frankly, they make money when they sell guns.
Lots of money.
So their goal is to sell more guns. So in the end, that's one of the key things. But I think we've got to get away from where we're each fearful of each other, where we have young men running around thinking that, you know, holy shit, I've got to carry a gun because someone might be out to get me. You know, we got to show these young men love and that we care about them and they're critical and important to our community. I mean, we've got a situation that I think is somewhat really, you know, this is a whole larger public safety issue. But we have police that are scared of people in our community. We have people in our community that are scared of police. We have people in our community that are scared of each other. You know, that's not where you build a really good, cohesive, safe community. I mean, we need to start breaking down some of those things so that, and I think partially it starts with doing things like this, connecting with folks, talking about what's important, what are the things that they're going to do. And I've heard people in the community talk about, well, they're going to do that, that's not going to solve it. Well, I don't think any one of these things are going to solve it. I mean, I think that we need all hands on deck, all people trying to do different things, because I think in the end that's what's going to, you know, make our community safe.
That's right. And so, just like you said, it's going to take a multitude of things to make change. But if you don't do anything, then nothing will ever change. The number one thing that we talked about before, don't ask the politicians what are they going to do, but help them do something. That's the important key. That's why when I talk to Ray Dean, I say, what do I need to do? Because you need to do something. First of all, you need to do something. We got to touch the hearts of these kids because they're going to get guns. Because the gun manufacturers are going to make sure they're available. But if their hearts are where they need to be, they'll think twice before they hurt somebody. We're losing too many to gun violence. We've got to do something, and we can't allow the gun industry to take over our community. Thank you.
Thank you,
sir.
PJ.
God bless you.
You know, I'm always there, man.
All
Let
right,
me know
bro.
whatever you need, dude.
All right, thanks a lot.
You bet.
Come on, we're going to meet some more people out here. Hey, you know, this is really great. What I love about this, we got organizations coming together. We got people coming together. We got community coming together. Not only that, but folks are coming around now saying, wow, how can I do more? How can I get involved? Tell them a little bit about what today is all about and what we got planned.
Wonderful. Well, today is Wear Orange Day, and that is a National Gun Violence Awareness Day. It was actually started in urban Chicago. A young woman who had been a leader in her high school, who had been at Obama's inauguration, came back from Washington and was caught in the crossfire. And her school classmates were so upset about it that they all wore orange, the way hunters do in the woods, so as not to get shot. And they went out on the street demanding common sense gun laws. So from now on, that was on her birthday, June 2nd, is National Gun Violence Awareness Day. We are celebrating it today because we wanted to be out in this park with families. We wanted to do it on the weekend. I often hear people from greater Minnesota say, oh, we don't have a problem with gun violence in our community. It's just those people in North Minneapolis. And so we wanted to be here today because we wanted to show the world how amazing and vibrant and wonderful those people in North Minneapolis are. Let's give a great big cheer! What this is about is, first of all, showing that even though North Minneapolis has been touched and really seriously wounded by gun violence, this is an amazing community, and you have amazing resources here. This park, these people, these groups that you've brought in, this is a strong community. It is not defined by gun violence. And so we want to be here and we want to show the rest of the state that North Minneapolis is a vibrant, beautiful place that is too often the victim of gun violence. And we need to pass laws to keep that from happening. We need to pass common sense laws like criminal background checks before every gun sale, like gun violence prevention orders which would allow guns to be removed from those who are suicidal or threatening to others. We need to make sure that our legislators understand that a community that is held captive by gunfire needs their help. They cannot fix this alone. But most importantly, we need the whole state to understand that even though we're in North Minneapolis today, 3/4 of gun violence deaths in our state are suicides. And they happen disproportionately in greater Minnesota, in rural Minnesota. And so even though we're here today talking about gun violence, we need to be talking about suicide and gun violence across the state, in every kind of community, large and small. And we need to call upon our legislators to do something about it. A lot of our legislators think that North Minneapolis is the only place that has a problem with gun violence. And we want them to understand, no, that isn't true. Look at this beautiful community, look at what it can do, and look at your own communities, legislators, because your own community is suffering a greater proportion of gun violence than the community of North Minneapolis. And so that's really part of our messaging today. We want people to sign up to become members of Protect Minnesota. We want them to show up at the legislature when we're there. We want them to help us educate people about the fact that we don't have to confiscate all guns in order to make our communities safer by keeping guns out of the wrong hands. And that's the goal of Protect Minnesota.
We're getting ready to have a wonderful day. We got a survivor here too. We're going to talk with her and find out why she's here and why it's so important for you to understand that so many people have lost their lives. Come on in, honey. This young lady right here, you lost your aunt.
Yeah,
This is her aunt right here. Look at it. Her aunt looks just like her. They look like twins. I'm so excited. This is what brought you here. Your aunt was killed when?
She was killed on September 29th, 2003. She was shot and killed at the Hennepin County Government Center by a woman who went to a Minnesota gun show with $60 in her pocket, bought a gun through a private sale, no paperwork, no background check. And that type of gun sale is completely legal in Minnesota.
Now, your aunt's name is?
Shelley Joseph Cordell.
Shelley Joseph has got to go on the wall of pain. I want to make sure you put her name up there. You've got the wall of pain. And what is your stand? What are you going to do from now on to fight for her?
I'm doing it. I'm showing up at the legislature anytime they try to pass a bad gun bill, like Stand Your Ground and Permitless Carry are two really bad gun bills we were able to block at the legislature this year with the support of all our Protect Minnesota volunteers.
Keep doing it. Keep fighting. Stop the violence, bring the unity. Red Orange, we're doing it right here. Protect Minnesota, Mad Dads, a bunch of other organizations working together. Don't you go nowhere, because we're going to help victims like this survive. We're going to do it. We're going to work together. Stick with us. Stop the violence, bring the unity. Protect Minnesota. Everybody working together. Gun violence is a serious issue, you know, and we got people here that know what we have to do and how we need to do it. First of all, we have our wonderful Officer Adams here. Nobody has worked harder in homicide that I know of than Officer Adams. And Officer Adams, what should we do in the community?
You know, I think it's bigger than law enforcement. You know, we're going to have to stick together on this issue. I mean, yesterday we had two shot. We had a young lady shot waiting in line at Pizza Lucci's to get a piece of pizza. The shots came across from the parking lot. This has got to stop, man, because, I mean, we're getting kids hit. You know, we got 7 homicides. I mean, we have 10 homicides, 7 of them are in North Minneapolis out of the 10. So, you know, we got to make sure we get these kids put down guns. Everybody who knows somebody needs to get in their ear and start telling them enough is enough. We got to start working together, start instead of working apart. Exactly. You know, we got to come together, because this issue is bigger than us. Exactly.
I spent 8 years in homicide. I was able to pull up my uncle's case. It was 2 pages. That was a shame.
You know, it's law enforcement community leaders, churches, pastors, everybody. You know, so that's what we need to do.
Yes, sir. Introduce yourself and tell us what's your concept and what do you think we should do?
Well, my name is Sharif Willis. I really feel that just what Charlie said is essential. We have to, whatever differences that individuals who are working on behalf of trying to arrest the violence that's existing, the community-based organizations, whatever differences they may have with another organization, the time now is to leave those differences behind and to go forth to try to resolve this. It takes all of us. This is a community effort. This is not no one person. It's not no law enforcement issue that's going to be able to bring forth a solution to this. This is all of us. There's that adage that it takes a village to raise a child. Well, it does take a village. That collective force, that collective body coming together cannot be stopped if we all get on the same page and work together. We can resolve this here if we all lay back and come together.
it can happen, and that's why we're here. Unity in the community, Stop the Violence event. That's what it's all about. You're going to meet some of the vendors, meet some other folks. We're going to talk to Reverend McAfee right now. Hold on. You know, for a long time, Reverend McAfee and New Salem Baptist Church and others have been working on stopping the violence, and so we all continue to work on this, but there's some things that we need to do. Reverend Mac, what are they?
Well, the first word that comes to mind is synergy. Everybody needs to come together, and we have different levels of expertise. But when we don't share those levels of expertise, and when we get outside of our respective lanes, we waste time. There are things mad dads can do that I can't do and don't do. But when we're at the table for what we can do, one of the things that we're getting ready to push now is what we're calling one family at a time. You've been out here, you know our families are in bad shape.
Bad shape.
When we can get our families to start meeting together and assessing, A, what is the economic perspective of each family member, what is the education need of each family member, and C, are there any treatment issues? And then if there are, we then utilize the resources of the churches, His Works United, PAW with Bishop Howell, Bishop Washington, Pastor Russell, and we use social service programs as well to get that family back to good. When we do that, we start, one, mending the family, and the need for the violence will stop. We're tribal people. So when the breakdown of the extended family concept took place years ago, you see where we're at right now. And it's going to be up to us to make the initial steps in it. And when we do that and other people partner, we can make it happen.
There's a lot of things that we have to do, and as you can see, the reason why we're not all at the table, there's some forces that don't want us all at the table. They clearly don't want us to come together, but we have to fight that, and we have to fight hard so that we all can come together and do what we're good at. And so you brought up a great example. That's what we have to do. That's why we do events like this, and that's why we have people like Reverend McAfee and others to show up so we can have these conversations. Okay? Stop the violence, bring the unity. We can make it happen.
So I'm State Representative Fu Lee, representing District 59A in North Minneapolis, and I'm here today because I believe that it's critical for us as a state to start having a conversation around gun violence prevention and awareness. And you know, this past session, both myself and Senator Hayden introduced legislation to do so, but our Republican colleague refused to give us our hearing or just to even start that conversation. So I'm here today to talk with my neighbors to see how we can get that conversation going right here on the north side, the city of Minneapolis, and hopefully to the whole state of Minnesota.
You know, it's amazing when people come together what can happen. And tell them about your organization and what you do.
I got a couple.
Okay.
So I'm here on behalf of my own public safety campaign. It's called the Enough Campaign. And I think Bunny, you should come over here because Bunny was really the inspiration for
Let's get Bunny in here. Come on in.
the beginning of my campaign, because I photographed her, and it really took my campaign off to raise awareness in gun violence and her mother's murder. So now I focus on other family members of victims and other issues like mental health and depression and suicide and things like that. And I also manage the Art is My Weapon campaign at Pillsbury United, which is from the gun buyback that we did last August. And we have a bunch of artists that are creating art out of the decommissioned weapons that we got.
And as you can see, they both runway models. They know how to do that too, right? So, Bunny, you know, I'm going to tell you something, boy. I watched you fight, and you fought so hard. When your mother got killed, everybody's worried about you running around with their flyers all up and down the neighborhood. You did not care. You was like, kill me, because I'm going to find out who killed my mama. Boy, and I'm just, you know, you were so raw on Facebook. Like, I'm feeling a certain way. And, you know, people show you love. I'm so good. Glad you did that, because a lot of people hold that in.
Yeah.
And they don't let you know they're feeling depressed, they feeling down. You did that. What has your mother being killed did, and how has that transformed you to fight against gun violence?
Well, I think a lot of the times people don't get the gun violence until it hits your doorstep. So this time, like I've known for years, you know, there's fighting or gun violence and everything else in the community, but it really hit home when it hit mine. And I would never have stopped fighting until the folks were caught for my mom's death. So it's given me strength that I didn't know I had. I mean, I miss my mom dearly, and a lot of my fight was for her, but now I'm trying to focus on trying to help others who have lost loved ones. I've been in contact with Dana Logan's family just to say, look, you got to be her voice now that she is no longer here to have a voice. So I just want the community all to stand up and, you know, when something's going on, say something. If your child has a gun in the house, say something, get that gun out of the house. Or, you know, get him some help.
I'd also like to say to the parents, if you know, and most of the time you do, if your child has a gun in the house or has access to a gun that is not legally obtained, that you get that gun and get it to the authorities.
Because the guns aren't the answer, and they're fighting over things that are so minute. It's not even good.
So, you know, one of the things that I think is important, there are so many mothers right now, and even fathers that are in their homes, and children that are in their homes just grieving. They're just sitting there grieving. They won't even come out. And you did just the opposite. Give them some encouragement to say, you got to come out of the four walls.
You have to. If you sit in a depressed state and stay in the house, it's going to be really, really hard. That coming out, speaking out, fighting for justice for my mom, and speaking at these different events have helped me to grieve. If you stay in the house, it's gonna affect you in many ways. Now, I also see a therapist now who is helping me along, because I really didn't grieve during the time that I was advocating for my mom. But I'm seeing one now. It's doing awesome, and I hope that others take the same thing. Come out and speak for your family. Whoever, your loved one, friend, whatever it is, come out and speak for them, because they no longer have a voice.
You know, people say all the time that I ain't crazy, but you're crazy if you don't get help.
Right.
You're crazy if you don't seek professional help, because the church can't always do it. You know, your family can't always do it. They don't always know the right answers, so you need to go to somebody that can help you.
I'm Betsy Hodges. I'm the mayor of Minneapolis, and I am so glad to be here today with so many people who say no more gun violence in our community. There's not a gun, there's not a shooting. If there's not a shooting, it's harder for people to die, not impossible. But it's incredibly important to Minneapolis, and every neighborhood needs to be safe. Every neighborhood needs to feel safe. And we as neighbors are coming together to say so and do what we can to end violence.
If you have a balloon that you want to release in honor of someone that you know, someone that you've loved, a community that you know, a community that you love, if you want to come forward together and do that together, I think now would be a great time.
Hey, how's everybody doing today? We are out here at this event, basically bringing awareness on gun violence here in the state of Minnesota and abroad. This event is being put on by Protect Minnesota. However, there is a whole bunch of sponsors. The Enough campaign from Nikki McComb, myself, Antoine Beach from Face to Face. I never can forget Brother VJ from Mad Dads. And there's a host of others, so please excuse me if I forgot you. But again, this is to bring awareness about the gun crime, the gun issue that we have here in the state of Minnesota.
But we as Face to Face, we are doing anything and everything that we can to promote gun sense, sensible gun laws.
We have way too many individuals that have easy access to weapons, and they don't have the necessary training or the qualifications to be carrying such a weapon. Honestly, we just had an incident last night in downtown Minneapolis after a hip-hop concert where there was a young lady, innocent bystander, that was shot and killed. That was shot. I don't know if she was killed, but she was definitely shot. My aunt, Bernelle Beeks, who was shot and killed a little over a year ago, May 26th, I believe it was, of 2016. We just had her 1 year vigil not too long ago. Again, you know, this is just senseless acts of violence that are plaguing our communities, whether it's directly or indirectly. We understand that a lot of this gun violence is has a lot of systemic issues, and a lot of those systemic issues start right here in these inner cities. That's why events like this here is so important, you know, for people to come out and be a part of this event. Now, there's a lot of folks out here. We got Minneapolis Police Department. We have Hennepin County Sheriff, Mad Daz, and a host of others. You know, as you can see, we have a drill team that's actually kind of coming down. But what we really need and what we really want to see is all of these homeowners. If you kind of look across the street on both sides, this is a huge residential area. We have kids in the pool. We need these individuals to truly come out and be a part of this, instead of being locked into their house and saying that this is not their issue, this is not their concern, because maybe they have not been a survivor of gun violence. Maybe one of their loved ones has not been a victim of gun violence. But this is an issue and an epidemic that you don't want to be reactive with. You definitely want to be proactive. And one of the ways that you can kind of get involved is by texting the word honor to 64433. Also, you can get involved with your local law enforcement, your local churches, your local community organizations, just to have a lot more information and understanding as far as how urgent you need to get involved and how much this is truly impacting us here. I want to say thank you for allowing me to take this time to share this information with you. Again, my name is Antoine Beeks. I am the CEO of Face to Face. If there's anything we can do for you, please reach out to me, 612-483-8111, 612-483-8111, or you can also visit our website, www.facetofacemn.com.
Hi, my name is Curtis Britton. I'm the chaplain for Freedom Works, which is a re-entry aftercare service, working with guys coming out of prisons, treatment facilities, jail, you know, and wherever. If they're homeless, we help them. Freedom Works is a 6 to 9 months program. You know, it's a residential program. We're Christian based. You know, we work with guys in every aspect of their release, whatever their situation is. We're here to help them, to give them the structure, you know, the accountability that they need, because we believe that without a support network, which is vital, without it, it's just like not even having help, because you need a support network, especially when you're coming out of prison and out of jail, which I am a prime candidate, you know, of one coming out of prison, my life turning around from crime to Christ. So I know firsthand that if you have a support network that's going to help you, people like Project Propriety Living, Amicus, and these different organizations that can help you. Never say you can't get help just because you're record. There is a second chance for people like us coming out of prison without help. But Freedom Works is offering you the kind of help that you need. So if you want to reach me, my cell number is 612-600-4195. The office number is 612-522-9007. I'm here to help you.
My name is Ade Daniel. I'm here to express my feelings about guns, because I believe that we human beings, we are destroying ourselves. And then to me, America is the Garden of Eden, I know. When I compare America with the Garden of Eden, they say God created in the Bible and in the Quran and everything, then I can see America is the Garden of Eden created for our own generation. Because America as a country is only one country that have all the ethnic groups of the whole world. You find it in America here. And that is how they say Garden of Eden was at that time.
Hi, I'm Cheryl with the Hennepin County Child and Teen Checkup Program. We're here today at the Stop the Violence because we feel like preventative health care fits right in with stopping violence. You don't want to have violence against your body, right? So what you want to do is stay consistent with your health care, and that fits into our program. We work with families on medical assistance who have children on medical assistance, from the age of birth to 21. What we do is try to set up families with their own primary care doctor with a home clinic. If they have one, then we'll try to make sure that they're satisfied. If they're not, we'll help them find a doctor. We also push dental care, so it's all about preventive health care. We can help arrange transportation so that there are no barriers to getting health care, no barriers to taking care of yourself and your family. Again, we don't want any violence against your body. And simply put, that just means take care of yourself. Don't let things build up. Use us. It's a benefit of medical assistance. Call us at 612-348-5131. We're here to assist you. Thank you.
We are Jim Reason, Marvin Smith, and Roy Joe of Black men leading the African American community. We're here at the rally today trying to get our mission statement distributed to the attendees and get individuals that are interested in the nuts and bolts of our mission statement to help us rally our effort. You have something you want to answer?
One of the things that was critical as we put the group together was our attempt to try and get in front of the violence. It amazes me that every year as the weather starts to warm, for the last 30 years we've seen an escalation of violence, and it was our feeling that there wasn't enough being done intentionally to kind of get in front of that violence and quell it and just save one life. Additionally, to provide some services that would act in the capacity of intervention services that may also aid in the reduction of crime and violence. And so we've been together about 3 months. We've been to a couple events. This is our second event. And we're, I think, pretty well received by the community. We want men to participate. We meet every Friday at New Salem Baptist Church, 2507 Bryan Avenue North, 6 to 8 p.m. every Friday. We will feed you so you can come straight from work. But we need you to join hands with us, shoulder to shoulder. Let's deal with our community like men do in every other community with the exception of ours. It's that time. If you're not part of the solution, then you are part of the problem.
We also have a Facebook page, Black BLAAC. That's our Facebook page. We also have an email address. That email address is blackin17@gmail.com. Thank you.
A good friend of mine and a supporter of this event, but also somebody that believes that we have to do some things to stop our gun violence in our community. Sasha, how do we do that?
I think the heart of the matter is us coming together and really addressing the root causes of the violence. We know that particularly our young people need support around education and housing and employment and just love. They need to know that our community supports them and has their back, particularly as it pertains to staying safe. So I think using our blueprint that you're a part of, BJ, and looking at our group violence intervention strategy are some really great steps in the right direction that the city has supported in an effort to make the north side and all of Minneapolis a better place. So we thank you for your support. We thank the mayor and everyone who's out here today.
So Sasha Cotton with the City Department of Health and all kinds of programs that she's working with. She's doing a great job, Sasha. I'm so proud of you.
Oh, thanks, BJ.
And thanks for supporting the work we do. Stop the Violence, Bring the Unity, Protect Minnesota, and all of us wear Orange Day. It's a great day. Y'all hang with us and connect. And Sasha, if people want to connect with you, what number do they call?
You can call me at 612-673-2729 anytime.
Today, when I was a kid, my grandparents lived on the 1700 block of Irving, so North Commons has a really special place in my heart. And gun violence prevention is also a deeply personal issue for me. The heart of my family, my Aunt Shelley, was killed in a courthouse shooting at the Hennepin County Government Center on September 29th, 2003. Shelley's killer had a long history of harassment
As my son, you brought me life. I know it's supposed to be the other way around, and it was, but because of you, my life choices changed. I chose to live. You made me responsible for more than just me. As a sibling, I watched you lead. Your playful roughness was balanced out by your love and guidance. You advised, helped, taught, shared. You connected to all of them. I remember you complaining about all of your responsibility for being the oldest. I always told you that I too was the oldest, and it is a hard job to do, that I do understand, and that you, my sons.
One of the many reasons why I'm running is because I hold this truth so dear and close to my heart. I too have to confront gun violence, and I hear gunshots around my home and around my family, and I want to step up to be able to confront this and challenge this head on. Preventing gun violence isn't some grand mystery. There is research out there, and we know that there are strategies that work. And so we know that providing opportunities that permanently disrupt poverty, as well as build community, as well as looking at the entire cycle of someone's involvement with crime in the criminal justice system, we know that these things can build safe neighborhoods.
And what I would like to ask you to think about today is I would ask you to think about how the impact of gun violence affects the quality of life of children.
This is a Wild Car Beats production.